A few years ago, when I was living in New Jersey, I went to the hospital and they wanted to perform a CT scan and an MRI scan, and they couldn't because I could not fit in the machine. And I also, at the time, was having to use extension seatbelts on airplanes. I couldn't fit on roller coasters. I couldn't even really make it around the Disney and Universal parks. I constantly was in my head about how big I am and will I fit. Like, even when I'm parking my car, I need so much space to get out. If I go to a restaurant, is there going to be booths? Like, are there going to be tall tables? And I just constantly was in my head about my weight. And it also had serious repercussions with, back pain, knee pain, just being exhausted all of the time and not feeling good. And I started my own kind of weight loss thing. And over the last 2 and a bit years, I've lost about 250 pounds and I have a little bit more to go. I'm hoping to be at my goal weight by the summer. And it has been, I can't even put into words how much an improvement in every aspect of my life, because I'm just a way, way happier person and I just feel so much better. And there's so many other nuances to all of, anything to do with weight. It's just such a huge subject. But this is my opinion, my story, my feelings, what happened to me, because the other day I posted before and afters on Instagram and I hadn't really realized, but I didn't have very many followers or subscribers when I did talk about my weight a lot more. And so many people were really surprised and they sent me messages and were asking me questions. So there is nothing going on in lesbian TV this week. So I thought it would be a good opportunity to just talk a little bit about it, tell you what happened to me, and also just some things I think about weight loss and fatness and everything in general. And I do follow a lot of girl world, GORL, because these people like Amberlyn Reed and Chantel and the other people in that community, it's very wild. I don't know what other way to describe it, but a lot of the things I see them doing when it comes to food and weight loss and, always starting a diet on Monday and bouncing from program to program, I very much was like that. And I think if my bad eating habits and bad behavior was being positively reinforced by views and money, that I could have ended up in the same situation that they're currently in when it comes to their weight. So let's take a little bit of a step back and I'll tell you what happened to me. So I'm going to put pictures on the screen to help follow along with the story and what's going on. And I do have the green screen on, so I know it makes my hair look a little bit white, but it doesn't matter. I like the background. So I never had like any weight problem when I was a kid or like early teens and stuff. My mom was very, very paranoid about weight and had like weight issues. Like, she wasn't big, but she had like disordered eating and all that stuff. And my sisters are very, very tiny people. And I'll put a picture so you can see. But when I was like 8, 9, and I was a normal child, like, you would not call me overweight or fat in any way. Like, my mom was putting me on a diet. So since I was about 8, I've been on a diet basically, and had very much, like, I remember being like 12, 13, and my mom making me do Atkins, and she was always a really restrictive about what I was eating. She always commented on it, and a lot of the times, like, she would really guilt me if I like ate something bad. So I've constantly, even now, like, it's very difficult for me. Like, I have to have some sort of restriction on what I'm eating, because otherwise it's one extreme or the other for me if I don't, track and like follow everything to a T, because I will either binge or I will like eat nothing. So it's one of the two for me. But and I know that's still probably disordered eating, but this is just I'm just being honest. So I never had any issues. And when I was a teenager, like I wasn't a stick by any means, but I was just normal. Like I was like a 12. And when I moved to America when I was 16, and I was still like normal, maybe a little bit on like the non-stick side. Like I'll put pictures up so you can see. And then when I started going to university, there was lots of issues in my family. My mum had a lot of mental health stuff, so I started putting on weight then, and it was just like little bits, slowly, and over the next 10 years, like I just was putting on weight and putting on weight, like a stone, 2 stone every year, like 20 pounds, 20 pounds. So when I got to about 28, I was big. Like I was 18, 20. And then I went through just like a really tough period in my life just before I turned 30. And I absolutely just started packing on weight, like really, really heavy. And then when I moved to New Jersey just before I turned 30, I really like went crazy. Like I was eating fast food like multiple times a day. I just wouldn't eat anything all day, and then I'd binge like crazy. I drank a lot too, so I was like drinking calories, and I mean everything you can think of. Like I was just doing the wrong things, like soda, like snacks, sugary things. Like I have a real sweet tooth, so I just eat so much crap. Like, and whenever I was really big, like over that year, the first year I was in New Jersey, like I put on a lot. The second year, I'll show you pictures. I was huge, and I put on so much weight, so much weight. And because I was living in New Jersey, where I made like a really best friend there who was just so there for me and so awesome, but I didn't like that was somewhere I moved to work, so I didn't have any of my family, I didn't have any friends there apart from the ones I made. And it just, so when I saw my family and my friends, I could see them be shocked at how much weight I'd put on. And before I left New Jersey, which was like the end of 2018, I couldn't make it like round Target without stopping, and I had to use like a cart so I could like lean on it because my back would get so sore. And I started getting really bad issues with my health, and I've never had issues with my health, like ever. I am unstoppable. Like I could eat a raw chicken, and I have never vomited, probably when I was a baby, but I just don't. I'm one of those people that I'm like a cockroach. Like I never get sick. And when I was in New Jersey, I had like pancreatitis, gastroenteritis. I had like issues with my kidneys, like just everything. I was on strong painkillers for my back because I just was in constant pain. And I was also like working this really erratic schedule. Like 1 week it would be 8 to 5, and then I'd have to do like 3 weeks of overnights, and I'd be working like 8 p.m. to 9 a.m. So that was just like night, you're working all night, eating crap, eating at like 3 a.m. It was all over the place. And I mean, this probably goes without saying, but I was really, really miserable. And all I would do was just eat crap on like days off, watch TV. I lived in a really great place, but probably for, someone with disordered eating, binge eating, whatever you want to call it. I lived opposite a Target, and within, half a mile of my house was literally every single fast food restaurant you can think of. Like, I mean, McDonald's, Burger King, Chick-fil-A, Red Robin, Chipotle, like multiple pizzas, Chinese, like Pizza Hut, Domino's, that there was everything you can possibly think of. And so I would just eat crap all the time. And I mean, I knew that I knew better. I knew, that I shouldn't be doing this and all that, but it just got to the stage where then I was so far gone that I knew it was such a hard road back. Because I had lost like a lot of weight before. When I got up at around 22, I had put on a couple of stone, and I got like I was really, really at my slimmest, and I'd lost tons of weight. So I knew that it was possible, but I had so much weight to lose. So when I decided to move back to the UK, it was like around Christmas 2018, and I came back, and for the first year I was back, I didn't really lose any. I just like kind of maintained. And then in the summer, like I think it was around May 2019, I started being like, okay, I really seriously need to do something, because then my family were on me in like a good way, because they were concerned, and my sister had at this stage 2 kids, and I couldn't like do anything with them, like, and I really, I wanted to be like the fun aunt, and I couldn't even make it round, like a zoo or something. So I started tracking, and I dropped my calories, but not like insane, because I was huge. I was like over 400 pounds at my really worst. I never really weighed in at my absolute worst because like the scale didn't go up that high, and I think it was around about 440 would be my best guesstimate, and that's like 31 stone. If you work in kilograms, you're on your I'll put it on the screen when I work it out. But so that was my absolute worst, and I bought a scale that read up to that high, and I got the Lose It app, which I think I'm on over 1,000 days of a streak now. So if I die, someone has to keep my streak up for me. So I started doing that, and I think I went down to about 2,000 calories. So that's like what a normal person eats. But, I was over 400 pounds. So immediately I started losing weight, and I did things like I never, ever ate out. Like I never went to restaurants, fast food, nothing, like, because you just have no control over the calories. I packed lunch every single day, and like, did out all the calories and everything. And I didn't go super like no carbs, but very low carbs. So I started losing weight like really quickly in the beginning, because you do when you're so big and you restrict a bit. So I dropped like the first 100 pretty much in like 5 months or something like that, like by Christmas. So I'll put pictures of it so you can see like the first Christmas that I'd started to lose weight, and obviously I was still really heavy. So after the first Christmas where I'd lost 100 pounds, so it was visible, people could tell, that's when I had the confidence to start my YouTube channel, because I wanted to do that for a really long time. And I had this really awesome doctor who, in a weird way, I'm now working with them. And when I came back from the States, they were like, she really called me out. She was like, what's happened? Like, what's happened to you, basically, is what she said. And that's probably really harsh, but I needed someone like that wasn't my family or friends to say that to me. So, and she had me come in like once a month. And this is why, people always go on about the NHS this, the NHS that. Listen, like, after living in America where I got those crazy bills, and then I had a GP, NHS doctor that was seeing me not obsessively, but like every 2 months, 3 months, and 6 months. And now I still see her every 6 months, because she just wants to like check that I haven't gone off the deep end. And she was really awesome to me. And yeah, like I said, it was really worked out in a cool way, because I'm actually working with her now, and she very much like helped me. the universe for the NHS. So once I started my YouTube channel, I'll put some of the videos in the beginning were just fucking horrendous. And then when I was like, oh, the weight loss things aren't really, picking up any traction, and the L word came back, and I noticed no one else was talking about the L word. Literally, Evelyn did videos, but she is very different from me. Like, she's short form, she doesn't come on camera and stuff. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna give it a go, and I'm gonna put a clip in so you can see.
Basically showing like Bet's finally let Tina in and let herself be vulnerable in front of her and all these things. So I thought we'd way moved past that, and their relationship wasn't the way it was in season one. Like, it completely had evolved, but I don't know why they've done. Maybe we'll get more explanation next episode.
I do not know how I even got one subscriber, but one these wonderful people joined my channel, even though I said and about 20 million times on my first video. So thank you to anyone who's been there since the beginning. And you can see from these videos, like, I was about another 120 pounds heavier than I am now. So I kept losing. When the lockdown happened, it actually helped me kind of, because I was always at home, only going out like once a week or something. So if I made it through that one grocery store trip once a week and didn't buy shit, and I was good. So yeah, I just continued. And honestly, now when the L word was on, I did have like a break. I didn't go wild or anything, because I cannot, but I just ate like 2,000 calories, and I pretty much was just stable over, I think, July till about Christmas, and then January I really like kicked back into gear, and I've lost about another 15 to 18 pounds since January. So, and I haven't weighed it in the last like 2 weeks. So still going really well, and I have about 50 pounds left that I just want off before, I really want to do it before July. So that's what I'm aiming for. And if it takes a little bit longer, it takes a little bit longer, because it is so much harder now. Oh my god, it's so much harder now. And I weigh everything. Like, that would be, if a few people were messaging me and saying like, what did you do, I really wish there was some cool answer and some magic something. All these people on social media that tell you, drink this, eat this, blah blah blah, like the supplements and stuff, it's all shit. Don't buy any of that. Don't buy any teas. Don't buy any supplement, like, vitamins and stuff like that. But all these people that they get these special like nail and hair and weight loss, if there was a magic pill for any of this, like, these people, everyone in the world would be taking it, and everyone would be rich. The people who make it would be rich. They wouldn't need to be like asking G-listers on Instagram to shill it. So don't buy any of that shit. All it does is it makes really expensive urine when it comes out of your body, because your body can't absorb a lot of that crap. So take your vitamins. If you're a woman, take iron, because when I lost all my weight, I was absolutely exhausted, and my doctor sent me for blood tests, and my iron was non-existent, because I've mostly been doing chicken and stuff. So yeah, keep an eye on your iron. But the other thing I'll say is don't buy any of that crap, but also buy a food scale. That's the one thing that you need, a food scale, and download. I use Lose It, just the free version. You don't need some fancy, you don't need a Fitbit, you don't need an Apple Watch. I mean, if you have those, that's super awesome and nice, and a nice benefit. But if you have a food scale and you have a human weighing scale, you are good. Like, and even if you can't afford like a big scale that goes up to your weight, or like tells your BMI, also is pretty rubbish. The those are the food scale is the one thing you should get before anything, and track absolutely everything way. And I mean butter, ketchup, that caught me out in the beginning because I was guesstimating that stuff. And the big thing from me that helped was absolutely admitting that you have really fucked up ideas about food and you have disordered eating. So you looking at, I don't know, rice or a portion of fries or something, and you think it's one portion, it's most likely like four. So, as I said, I cannot emphasize this enough. Weigh everything, even condiments. And I know it's annoying, but if you really want to lose weight, like, this is the way to do it. Don't go to restaurants. They pump the food full of butter, and even what they say on the menu about what the calories are, it's not really true. So avoid fast food, all that stuff. I mean, people are always like, what if you can't? What if you can? You can do it. You can avoid the restaurants and fast food. I mean, listen, I have like 3 jobs and I have 2 of my own businesses. Like, I know what I work 7 days a week. Like, I don't have kids, okay? That's my big time saver. I don't have any kids. But you can do it. I promise. Like, do it for a month, and once you do it for a month, you will see the results. So that will spur you on and you'll never look back. Like, I promise you, if you do exactly what I'm telling you for 30 days, if you don't lose weight, then there's just no circumstance where you would. Because if you don't lose weight, there's something seriously medically wrong with you and you should go to a doctor. Because the other thing is, and this is what I mean about accepting that you have disordered eating, you also have to accept that you are not a special fat person. You are just the same as everyone else. Your metabolism works the same as everyone else, because all these people that tell you, I can't live, like my dad, I've been trying to break this to him, that he is not a special fat person, that he's like, oh, I'm 60. That it does not matter. If you're a man, a woman, it does not matter. I have PCOS too. I have endometriosis. It sucks, but you can still do it. And if you do a calorie deficit and you weigh your food, again, I promise you, you will lose weight. That is guaranteed. And obviously, usual spiel of this is not medical advice, I'm not a dietitian or anything like that. This is what worked for me, and I have told other people this and seen them lose weight too. So and I follow a lot of weight loss people. Like, I follow Obese to Beast, Jordan Shrinks, Zach Attacks Fat, all of them. And I think that, like, now that I'm this far along, I know what I'm doing. But in the beginning, they were really great. And also they were really great to, like, be like, oh, I want to be like them, Oh, sorry, I forgot someone that I watch a lot, and I watch all of her videos. She's really good. My thoughts will probably offend you, Michelle McDaniel. She gives really good advice too, and she's a personal trainer, and I just really enjoy her videos too, because there's just no bullshit, and she does a lot of editing and stuff too that keep it entertaining. But I mainly watch because she's not about the bullshit. People ask a lot about, like, loose skin and things like that, and to be honest, like, there's no way you can lose as much weight as I have and not have loose skin. Of course you do, but I mean, maybe I think about it like a couple of times a week when, if I'm getting changed or something. But like, the loose skin is like, you can't even compare it to the weight. Like, it's kind of like saying, would you prefer like a pinprick on your finger, or would you prefer someone to amputate your entire arm with like a rusty knife? You can't, like, there's no comparison. The loose skin, it's nothing compared to the weight. So, and I don't really care when I said to myself, when I get to my goal weight, I'm going to get a boob job because I've always wanted a reduction. We're laying it all out here. But I am not bothered about the loose skin, like whatever. So this was a pretty long video, and I'm sure, I'm sure there's a couple of people who are my super awesome loyal people who watch it and enjoy hearing. But if this isn't, your usual thing, then absolutely no worries. Yeah, I mean, I cannot repeat that. This is my advice again. Weigh your food, calorie deficit, low carbs, avoid restaurants, avoid fast food, avoid eating out, avoid people on Instagram shilling rubbish. Like, there is no secret ingredient, formula, pill. You are not a special person. And yeah, you have disordered eating most likely, because I mean, I don't want to say every, especially woman, does, but the great majority of women, from societal pressure, whatever you want to say, like I have really yet to meet someone that I look at, a woman, and think, oh, you don't have some sort of eat, like, that is just something that's constantly talked about. Certainly in my friendship groups and stuff like that. I mean, it's terrible to say, but that's the truth, and hopefully that'll change. I mean, I see my sister and my cousins with their kids, and the way that they talk about food and stuff is from a super healthy way, instead of opposed to putting 8-year-olds on diets that don't need diets. And yeah, the last thing to say is, I mean, losing weight, yes, it drastically improved my life, how I feel and how I move in the world. And it takes off a big level. I still have a lot of anxiety, but it takes off that level of constantly thinking about every minute, like, it's like the fat people anxiety, because anywhere you go, you're constantly thinking about fitting and where you're gonna sit and this and that. And I mean, nothing on this earth tasted as good as when I got on a plane after having lost most of my weight, and sitting in the seat and just putting the seatbelt around me and clicking. And there's so many silly things like that, and it is kind of funny, because in my head, like, I still have weight to lose, but I'm not 440 pounds anymore. But in my head, sometimes I am, and I'll like look at a doorway or a seat or something. I'll be like, oh my god, I can't sit in that, and then I sit in it, and it's like huge, and everybody's always like, yeah, you're still like in your mind about how big you are. So I'm sure, hopefully, that goes away. But I'm gonna wrap this video up here, and I'm sure a lot of people can empathize with some aspect of something I've said. So thank you so much for watching. As I said, Obese to Beast, Jordan Shrinks, Zach Attacks Fat, and Michelle McDaniels, they're all really good people to follow, and they all stay like pretty current on what's going on too. So they're really awesome people to follow and to get advice from as well. And I don't know if people enjoyed this, which I can't I can't imagine it's gonna get many views, but I probably will maybe do an update when I get closer to goal weight. And yeah, I if I make it to my goal weight or die trying, I'll be on here with a loose skin video or something. So thanks so much for watching. You can follow me on all of my social media, where I post like update photos and things like that. And I have a Patreon, a merch store. I normally talk about television commentary. If you're interested in that, make sure to subscribe. And I have a second channel where I talk about cults and scams and frauds. And I'm covering The Dropout over there and We Crashed at the moment. So if that's something you're interested in, everything is linked down below in the description box and the comments. And as always, make sure to stay safe, take care of yourselves, I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.